us on the Sunday afternoon. This is a very, very special day. This is our Indoindians Extraordinary Women Awards, a platform to promote the positive impact women make on society, to recognize, honor, celebrate, and bring greater visibility to women's achievements in various fields. And today, this has been an incredible experience and learning and talking to many, many different women who have been making such great strides and creating a social impact around them. And this would not have been possible without my partner, Sachin Gopalan. Hi, Sachin.
Hi, Poonam.
Yeah, so Sachin has been part of this process from the beginning. And, so I'd like to hand this over to Sachin to do a short opening.
Well, thank you, Poonam. I think the event today is a testament to the hard work that you have been doing. But there are actually 4 groups of people I'd really like to thank here for making this happen. Because, I've been here for 25 years, and this is the first time there is such kind of an event which recognizes the efforts of the Indian community. And the Indo-Indians, as we put it, have played a great role. And this is, I think, the beginning of being able to recognize the people who have been making things happen and making the community proud. And I'm sure this will extrapolate into many other awards, which will recognize more groups of people who have been doing great things. But the first of all is to you, Poonam, firstly, for working very hard to make this happen, because the only reason you're not an awardee is because you're an organizer. You get disqualified. Otherwise, you should very well be in the list of people considered, for the awards. But having said that, I also like to thank the jury, because I think the jury has done a phenomenal job. It's not easy to actually sift through so many different people's achievements and put it into the right context and be able to, make a judgment on how that has impacted. I think the results of the jury process have been very consistent. We didn't have any major variance. And that is not very common, because in many award processes, you find a lot of variance. This one, there was fair amount of, consensus in the way the awards were selected. So that's a great process. I really thank the jury members. The third is the public. Poonam, to be honest, the participation was unexpected. We didn't expect this kind of participation in terms of nominations, in terms of, people coming up with, recognizing their peers. And, in many cases, many of the nominations came from women who should actually have been in the categories itself. So that's a great testament to the process, that we found the engagement with the people. It connects. People find that this is something that should be celebrated. And I really thank everybody for coming together on that. And the last, I'd like to thank the ambassador, because, Ambassador Bharti has been really supporting things which have not been done before. It's a great way to be able to bring the community together. And I say this in the context of the pandemic, when it's even more difficult. How do we actually keep, our sanity and our enthusiasm and everything together in a time like this? And Ambassador Bharti has been very supportive of events like this and activities like this, which I really commend. And I thank him for, being one of the cheerleaders of this whole process of recognizing the community, because I think after so many years of Indians being here, and we have a fair amount of people who are in the 25-year category, right? Yes. Who've been here long enough. And I think Ambassador Bharti and Madam's role here in bringing it all together and being able to celebrate the successes of the communities plays a very big important part in keeping the community together. So, with these 4 groups of people, I believe that we now have an event which can repeat itself every year. And I'm sure, Poonam, you can think of other categories. It doesn't have to only be women's award. It could be, youth awards, men's awards, it could be across so many categories. It's a way to celebrate and bring about, this feeling of we as Indians and our ethnicity, whether we are Indian passport holders or Indonesians, doesn't matter. But as an ethnic Indian, we have a role to play that contributes to the world. And in this case, our world is Indonesia. So we are focusing on this. But, the idea of Indians making an impact on the world, it goes back from history to today. So I think, I'd like to thank everybody who is here today on this call, as well as on YouTube, all the people who are following us. Continue to stay engaged with the Indian community, and together we can do wonderful things. Thank you. Over to you, Poonam.
Thank you, Sachin. That was very valid, very, very relevant. Yes, it is a time to recognize and do more as Indians and make an impact, make a difference to the world we live in. So look out. And I'd like to invite Ambassador Bharti to say a few words and take this forward. Ambassador Bharti, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Poonam ji, Sachin ji, other people who are watching today's program, and all the awardees. It is actually a very defining moment in the journey of the Indian diaspora. Sachin ji has correctly mentioned the fact that many Indians who have been around here have completed 25 years. And it is perhaps the time to take stock of how we have progressed, who all have been the major contributors to not only the progress of Indian community here, but also to the progress of Indonesia as such. I have been telling this right from day one, that there is a great amount of synergy that exists or can exist between India and Indonesia. And I do not know how many times you have heard from me, but I'll tell you once again that the democratic norms that we follow, both in India and Indonesia, being the largest and the third largest democracies in the world, that is something that we should take as a responsibility on behalf of the whole global population. Today, the concept of democracy needs to be strengthened, and that is perhaps we can play some role on that account. I'm sure the Indian community, which contributes in a very significant manner, not only to the economic dynamics of Indonesia, but also the social fabric. It has a lot to do. It has a lot to take on as their responsibility. And in that sense, this event comes out as a, I would say, breather of good fortune. I would also take this opportunity to thank the organizers, mainly the two of them who have just spoken, Ms. Poonam and Sachin ji. I would strongly advocate strengthening of this platform in a way which also promotes our Indian ethos in Indonesia. We should not forget anytime that we are Indians. And when we say we are Indians, we mean we carry with us certain ethos, certain cultural trends. Voice is not coming?
It's perfectly fine. I can hear you just fine.
All right. So, I mean, basic things where we give due credit to our seniors or due respect to elders in the society, or based on hierarchy. Some of these things are purely Indian. And in the name of getting or following the Western pattern, I have a strong belief that we should not forgo these things. These things make us Indian, and it is no, I don't think it is any kind of shame or anything to keep following those trends and not simply ape the Western culture. This is also something which you can teach through our own behavior to our younger generation. All this I'm saying as a prelude to say that I very much encourage more and more participation from the Indian community in programs like this. And Sachin ji has correctly mentioned that awards should not only be limited to women category, but also to some other deserving categories, and also some other forms of activities can be thought of? Why not something like a TED Talk done by Indo-Indian, where achievers and who have good stories can make programs for the Indian community to share. Somebody can speak about the Sindhi journey into Indonesia. Somebody can speak about their own neighborhood when they were settling down here. TED Talks kind of format has picked up a lot, and I think Indo-Indians can pick it up very well. So I take this opportunity to congratulate all the award winners. And I know my wife has been very closely associated in the selection process. And through her, I have come to know that in many categories, there were very limited number of participants, which I found to be a little sad, because I wish there were more participants, more contestants in each of these categories. But we have started a progress, and I wish all success to this event and continued better participation and results in the coming days and years. All the best to you. Thank you very much for giving me this platform.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. That was a very nicely said. And yes, TED Talks is a great idea, and we will take it forward. And we will be looking at more categories to celebrate and acknowledge all the good work done by Indians here in Indonesia. And as you very rightly mentioned, Madam Anamika has been part of the selection process. Not only Madam Anamika, but also we have other judges like Sari Kusuma Ningram, Marvin Suvorso, Ibu Prita Kamal, and Sachin himself was part of this selection process. And all these people were nominees. They were nominated by various people who filled a form online, and they submitted details about their nominees because they felt compelled that, yes, these are the people who have actually made an impact. So this was a very wonderful experience. And I would also like to introduce my judges to all of you. The judges, as I mentioned, were Sari, Sachin, Madam Anamika herself, Ibu Prita Kamal, and Marvin. At this moment, Madam is here on the platform. So Madam Anamika, if you could save 1 minute on what you thought about the process and about the women that you got to know through this process.
Hello, good evening, everybody. A big moment for many of you, because getting an award like this means recognition of your achievements. And your achievement, what I found out from the forms that they were filled up and given to me. I have not met almost everybody. I have not met anybody except for one or two. So my assessment was on the base of the forms that I got. And I realized that it was not a journey for this particular award or any other award. It was a self journey, a journey of achievements, where you have failed, you have won, you have started from very little, and you have achieved a lot. So it's in a way a recognition by the society, and I'm happy that I was part of this selection, or I shouldn't say selection, it was a kind of knowing you. And I look forward to meeting you in person also one day. Any responsibility that you get, it sets very heavily on your shoulders. You have to justify it later also, So I would like to know more about what you do, and I would hope that many others would get some kind of inspiration from you. Each one of you can contribute more. As my husband said, we need to preserve our Indianness and at the same time contribute towards the society where we live in, which here is Indonesia. And I was quite impressed with the way people have built up their businesses or education. In the field of education, there were many nominees, and I was very sorry to not recognize everybody's contribution. Everybody has contributed so much in so many ways. So I congratulate the organizers, the participants, the people who sent out these nomination papers, and the final awardees. Many congratulations once again, and I look forward to interacting with you and knowing and learning from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so beautifully conveyed, Madam Anamika. I'd also like to introduce you to two more of our judges. Sari, Sari, if you can come online and say, a few words, that would be wonderful.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by thanking our host, Poonam Sagar, of course, my dear friend, and also the organizer Indo-Indians and Pak Sachin as well, for bringing us together today that we celebrate the positive impact that women make on society and of course their achievement in various fields. And I was very thrilled, and this award is a really excellent idea to encourage women, to put forward their achievement and to share the challenges that I see in all the domination paper, that so many people actually making whatever stories that is really amazing to me. So it's very difficult to pick one of them because everybody has this inspiring story and everybody has their own unique and style. So I really enjoy being one of the judges. And of course, I really believe that these inspiring women can make the incredible movement or impact to their community. Last but not least, I also like to address my sincere pleasure to see that this event is graced by the presence of many champions of the Indian women in Indonesia that I have already, some of them I met them since early 2000, I think. So again, congratulations to the awardees, and thank you all for your commitment and your passion. And I'm also very honored and humbled to be a part of this inspiring Indo-Indians Extraordinary Award ceremony. Thank you, Poonam. Congratulations again to you.
Thank you, Sari. That was really well said. As a process of our awards, we also interviewed each and every one of our awardees, and we have hosts here. So I'd like to also recognize Sachin, Jyoti Chawla, and Shireen Ratnani, who went ahead and interviewed each of the awardees, and so that they could find out more. And these awardee interviews are available online. They're available on YouTube as well as on our platform. So I'd also like to ask my host to say, a few words. So maybe we can start with you, Sachin. Maybe you could say something about the interview process.
Thank you, Poonam. I think, the interview process was, in a way, digging beyond the nominations, right? Because the nomination process was other people's views about why, and then we did our own research. Right. And we did our background check and we verified the information that came before we compiled it and then sent it to the jury. But to be able to actually hear directly from the awardees gave us a little bit of context about their journey and about how they saw themselves getting into a place, because obviously they did all these things without even expecting an award, right? The award didn't exist. This is the first time there's an award like this. So that gave us a lot of insight in the way people thought and the way they found themselves in a position of being able to contribute in a positive way. And in many cases, I found, at least the people that I interviewed, that not everything was planned. Many things were accidental. Many things were circumstantial. Many things were putting themselves in a position and they came out ahead. So, the ability to take charge of the situation and do something of value, that's a talent by itself. Yeah. Because a lot of people face these kind of moments, but they do nothing. So how do you respond to a challenge and how do you come out with something which has contributed and in a way that influences so many other lives? That is a byproduct. So I found that, all the several awardees that I interviewed had very interesting stories, and I really encourage everybody to go online and see it. I think Poonam has concisely edited them into not very long videos, because our original videos tend to be quite long, right? But I think it's really brought out an interesting perspective. The stories are not just about them, actually. It's about everything. It's about living in Indonesia and the experience of being part of the Indonesian ethos and combining with the Indian ethos, like Ambassador Bharti just said. The ethos is something that we should be proud of. And I found that that is a very strong point in all the awardees. So, it really makes sense what Ambassador Bharti said about we should be proud of our ethos and proud of the fact that we're Indian, and that has really come out in the awardees. And I look forward to, doing more of these. And I also enjoyed the interviews of the other interviewers. So it kind of, brings together all of this narrative into a story, which I think is worth celebrating, especially starting from today. Thanks, Poonam.
Thanks, Sachin. That was, yes, you were a wonderful interviewer. And Pramod, you have your hand up. Do you have a question? Pramod, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself. Okay, so I think it's a mistake. So now I'd like to call upon Jyoti. Jyoti, would you like to share the process of interviewing the awardees? You were such a wonderful, vibrant host, and thank you for interviewing our awardees.
Thank you, Poonam. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all the deserving ladies. They all have done exceedingly well in their own spheres. And I resonate very much with what Sachin said, that when they all started on their journey, they never looked forward to an award or a recognition like this. However, each one of their work has been so remarkable that they were so truly worthy of each and every of these awards. The process was beautiful. I remember when you had mentioned this, that this is a seed in your mind that you want to work on, and then how it started to where we are today. It's a great journey. I also would like to say that besides just not the winners, they inspire lots of people. Each and every story has been a big inspiration, and I'm sure a lot of people back in Jakarta would like to get associated with them and start adding value to them and themselves both. So that would be great. And I also feel very honored to be associated with Indo-Indians. I think it's the first platform which has gone ahead and done something like this. There are a lot of other platforms which connect the Indian diaspora culturally and socially, but this actually goes and works in building the momentum and building the encouragement which is needed. Whether it's an art exhibition, you have encouraged so many artists to come up and do, whether it's a platform like this, where women have really been honored for the kind of work they're doing. So I feel very honored to be connected with Indo-Indians, and it's been a great journey. I've enjoyed it myself, and I definitely respect all these winners. And some of them I personally, have a very deep connection in terms of I really look up to them, and very happy to be connected.
Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Jyoti. We also have Shireen. Shireen Ratnani is an educator herself. And when she learned about the awards and the awardees, she wanted to interview the education awardee, Saraswati. So Shireen, can I invite you to say a few words, please?
Yes, thank you, Poonam. First of all, I think Honorable Ambassador Poonam, Sachin, and of course to the extraordinary Indo-Indians for hosting the Extraordinary Women Awards. I think it's beautiful to actually empower women. They've come up in a space and time like never before. And like someone else just said that, having such an event to actually acknowledge them is just the start to many more women meeting up to these benchmarks of excellence. It has been wonderful to see the categories that women have excelled in. And yes, like Ambassador Bharti said, this would be a good space for others to actually follow and come up here. So I think this initiative is very meaningful, not only to celebrate the excellence that women have shown, but also as an inspiration for many others who are there. And maybe this is now a platform to really, meet up to this benchmark. So yes, Poonam, thank you for this. Thank you for your purposefulness and bringing this unity within our community and empowering women so much. And as I interviewed Saraswati, this quote came to my mind that extraordinary belongs to those who create it. The amount of passion and hard work, it doesn't happen just overnight. Like Sachin said, it's the journey. And as I spoke to her, there was so much more depth, to just the tip of the iceberg that we are celebrating today. So yes, I would like to congratulate everyone who has won these awards. And Poonam, a very special thank you to you for initiating this, because I think it's going to be the lead to having, like Sachin and Ambassador said, the lead to having many more different awards, and also the lead to bring out this talent within our Indian community, which is, I would use the word dormant. It's there. And maybe this might be a platform to bring it out. And I'm surely looking forward to the TED Talks. So great. Thank you, everyone. And congratulations, Poonam, and congratulations, all you extraordinary women. All the best.
Thank you, Shireen. Thank you so much. Now, before I go on to the awards, I'd just like to also share very briefly Ibu Preeta's little address, because she is unable to be here. She has somebody sick in her family, but I'll just like to take this opportunity to just go through a little address that she sent to us. I'm going to share.
Hello, I'm Preeta Kemal Gani. I'm the one of the judges for Indo-Indian Extraordinary Woman Award 2021. I would like to give my heartfelt congratulations to the awardees of the Indo-Indian Extraordinary Woman. Congratulations to Bunbun Gurahai, to Dr. Nevidita Sethi, to Saraswati Suresh, to Monica Mohindra, and to Getika Sainani. Also, congratulations to Santi Seshadri, to Santi Samdasani, and also to Rita Srivastava, and also to Ibu Raki Punjabi. The Indo-Indian Extraordinary Woman Award 2021.
So that was Ibu Preeta. Ibu Preeta is founder of the LSPR, the London School of Public Relations, and she's a very lovely woman, and she was very amazed to meet all the women through this process. So without further ado, I'd also like to talk about the awardees now. So Sachin, we will just go through each awardee and talk about them. So I'm just going to share my screen again. And so if everybody can see my screen. So we are talking about the Indo-Indians Extraordinary Women Awards. We have women from 9 categories who are the awardees. And, so like to start, we had our judges, we had our hosts, and Sachin, Jyoti, Shireen, and now we'd like to talk about our awardees. So our first awardee is Bunbun for Lifetime Achievement, and she has such an inspirational story about Bunbun. And Bunbun has touched so many lives for so many years and doing so many wonderful things. And this is an amazing story, and I'd like to invite Shom. Shom is Bunbun's husband, to just say a few words. Shom.
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. Thank you, Rajat. Thank you, Sachin. Terima kasih banyak keluarga besar Indo-Indians. May I, with the sincere humility that was part of Bunbun, thankfully acknowledge this honor that you do for her. Wherever she is, she sends you her love and her ashwad. Excuse me. Please allow me a few minutes to share something with you which you may not know. Bunbun's journey in this sphere started almost 20-25 years ago, when she met this boy, let's call him Bambang, whose father was a bajai driver, met with an accident, family income had dried up, and the casualty also was going to be Bambang's education, and he was a bright student in the economics faculty at University of Indonesia. I don't know the circumstances under which Bunbun met him, but she spontaneously took responsibility for seeing Bambang through his final university years. Bambang today is a mid-level executive in Unilever, taking care of his entire family. Very similar story with a girl who now was faced with the consequence of losing her education. Bunbun personally saw her through college, and that girl is now head of training at an international market research company. She was doing this informally and casually. She met two other ladies who were of similar bent of mind. And one day at dinner, they came to me and said, we want to do this in an organized fashion. We drafted up and we formed Yayasan Goodwill Indonesia. Today, Yayasan Goodwill Indonesia has at any time up to 100 students that it supports at any one time. And in the years to date, it has seen through, I think, almost about 1,400 students who've completed their university educations with the help of support that these people have sponsored. It's a journey, it's a small seed, and it's grown into an oak tree. Similarly, I think with friends of hers, out of casual entertainment, etc., they started the Ambassadors of Hope, which now does some sterling work in women's prisons of children with learning disabilities. Ladies like Rita Srivastava, who's on the panel here, Rachna Daryani, Soni Kupchandani. These girls work so hard to give back to the Indonesian community. I share these two things to share with you one lesson I learned from my 45 years. That nothing is more rewarding, nothing is more enhancing of your self-worth than your capacity to give. That will enrich you more than anything else in your life. If you give me a minute more, I'll share something else with you about Bunbun being a Thate Punjabi and her immense love for anything Bengali. She was immersed in the Durga Puja rituals. Poila Boishakh was a very important event in our calendar. And I often felt that I was really accidental beneficiary of this fascination for things Bengali. So if you'll allow me to share with you two lines that may be appropriate today to remember Bunbun. The words are from our Kavi Guru Rabindranath Thakur, and the words are Tumi Robe Nirobe, Hridoye Mamo. You will remain silently forever in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Shom. She was truly, truly a wonderful woman, and we all miss her so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So in fact, what Shom also asked me to share a few lines of her favorite song, and I have it here. If you will, I'll just play it for. Thank you so much, Shom, for sharing. And she will always stay with us through her deeds and through the inspiration she has left for all of each and every one of us. Thank you so much. And now we'd like to talk about social impact, moving from what Bunbun's legacy that she has left for us. We'd like to talk about social impact. And for social impact, we have Dr. Nivedita Shetty. I'd like to share. She is not able to be here because she's still in India, but she has very kindly shared with us her. So Nivedita Shetty is a doctor based in Bandung, and she's grown up in Indonesia, and she went to University of Indonesia to become a doctor. And while being a doctor in Bandung, she has gone out, stepped out of her way, out of her comfort zone to help people. In fact, she's also helped people set up a mask making factory during the pandemic so they could earn a living. And so, little things like that, they really impact a lot. And she's been helping a lot of people. And a lot of people have reached out to me and said, do you know Nivedita? And they spoke about all the good work that she's done. So she has shared a little, I'll share that with you.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from the dream city of India, Mumbai. And thank you very much. I am extremely honored for the recognition of my work. And this inspires me even more to do better work in the future. Thank you very much to the teams of Indo-Indians and my well-wishers and especially my parents. Thank you very much once again. Namaste.
So that was Nivedita. She's hoping to come back, although she has an Indonesian passport now, but her father's also there with us. So whenever things are more convenient, she'll probably come back to Indonesia. So, and our next very popular nominee is Saraswati Suresh. Saraswati has been an amazing, amazing inspiration. What she started off teaching Hindi, although Hindi is not her first language. She started teaching Hindi IB. Then she has moved on to doing many other things, connecting the community together. And she's also started a YouTube channel teaching Hindi to everybody. So, Saraswati, would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
Let me stop sharing. Yeah. Thank you, Saraswati. Welcome. Saraswati, you're on mute.
Yep. I'll do it. Yep. One sec, Poonam. So there I go. Namaste, everybody. I'm extremely honored to be receiving such an important award, Indonesia's Extraordinary Women's Award from His Excellency Ambassador of India to Indonesia. Thank you, Indo-Indians and the jury, lovely jury, for bestowing upon me this award for my efforts to educate the young minds. This definitely encourages me to be more than ever to continue my journey and my efforts with higher zeal. I used to do it, but I'll do it with higher zeal and enthusiasm to serve the community. Thank you all. Finally, but last but not the least, thank you all my loving family and my extended family of awesome friends down there for being such a constant support and motivation to me always. Thank you very, very, very much for this honor. Namaste.
Thank you, Saraswati. You are amazing.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on, we have our next amazing woman, and is Monica Mohindra. Monica Mohindra is based in Bali, and she is a superwoman. So Monica, can I ask you to say a few words?
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, respected ambassador and madam, the respected panel of judges, all the entire team that I know has been behind Poonam and Sachin, the two heroes in my eyes. Started my journey in Indonesia. I used to introduce myself through all the work that I did as I'm an Indian living in Indonesia. And today, after a 25-year journey in Indonesia, I call myself an Indo-Indonesian. So Poonam, somewhere something synced, after such a long time. It's been an amazing journey. I think this land has given so much of strength. This land has given so much of, and I feel complete gratitude. And I would also like to use the same platform here, which is the Indo-Indonesians platform, to thank everybody behind me and my entire teams who've made it possible for me to receive this award. So thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much. You're doing such great work, and you're
Sorry.
So following on from Monica, we move on to our next extraordinary woman. And it's Geetika. Is Geetika online? I think Geetika said that she would be busy and that she would join us later. So Geetika runs a restaurant in Jakarta called Culture Restaurant. Not only does she run it, but she is the head chef there. And because she's so passionate about cooking, and she's there and making sure that every meal that she churns out of her restaurant is the best that she can make. And she makes it with a lot of love. And then, you know, this is a lady who is so multifaceted. She does it all, and she does it all so very well. Shanti Shishadri is our extraordinary woman for art and culture. Shanti, can I ask you to say a few words, please?
Yes, Poonam. Thanks. I'm very honored to be a part of this and for this award for art and culture. And thanks, Excellency, for being the judge today. And also, I'm Anamika Bharti and all the hosts, co-hosts, and all the people who are in the team involved. And I'm really, as they say, the journey in Indonesia for 30 years. And I really have to maintain that now to have a culture and going keep on. And that's a good platform now. We got to know that people should expect. Yeah, thanks once again.
So it's 1:30 in the morning for Shanti because she's currently in the US.
2:30 in the morning now, and I'm
you know, and I really appreciate your taking the time to staying up and being available to say a few words to us. And congratulations again. You are an amazing person.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for all the people who have, voted or anything. Yeah.
You stand out, Shanti.
Thanks.
We also have Shanti Shamdasani, who is doing a lot of work in business. And she does amazing work in the healthcare space where she's trying to connect a whole lot of providers from India as well as here in Indonesia so that healthcare can be better in Indonesia. She's unable to join us today, but she is really amazing. Do look out and watch her interview. Then we have Rita Srivastav. Rita Srivastav is the extraordinary woman for environment. Rita has been doing and educating all of us about how to be more green. Thank you, Rita. We would like to invite you to say a few words, please.
Hi, Poonam. Thank you so much. Thank you to Indo-Indians. Thank you, Ambassador Bharti, Anamika. Thank you to all the judges. And I think this is really a wonderful platform that you've started. We all do whatever we think is good for ourselves and our community without ever thinking if it can have a greater impact outside our little world. But I think we can have a very good impact on the world around us. And I see it in the little things little steps that we take every day. I'm amazed at the number of people who come up to me who I didn't think would be environmentally conscious or environmentally inclined, but it seems to be spreading wider and wider. And more people are taking little steps. Initially, everybody used to think, oh, I can't make a difference. What can I do? But I think now all of us are realizing that each one of us can and should, and we will make a difference. So this is a wonderful platform, and thank you, Poonam. I hope that through this award, through this entire ceremony and this collection of all of us coming together, we all grow more aware of the world around us and how we can improve our lives, improve our footprints, improve our surroundings in a better and more positive way. Thank you so much, and all the best to Indo-Indians, and go from strength to strength, Poonam. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you for all your sharing of education and, you know, helping us think in a different way vis-a-vis how to be more environmentally friendly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, we have media and entertainment. And unfortunately, Rakhi Punjabi is an icon in Indonesia. She's an icon in the media industry. And she is amazing what she has done here over the last many, many years. She is unable to join, but she sent us a very short video, which I'll just play. So, and all this would not have been possible with some of our supporters. You know, Z Bioscope is one of our supporters. So Z Bioscope transmits a lot of Indian programs, especially Indian movies dubbed in Bahasa. Another of our partners is Venus University. So Venus Global University, they provide a lot of education in English for international students. So they are also an important partner with us, Indo-Indians. And of course, this whole thing is with Sachin. Sachin does Orbit Academy, which is another education platform. And none of this could have been possible without Infotech Solutions, which fund and support the entire Indo-Indians effort here. And they've been doing so for the last 20 years. So these are some of our supporters and people here in Indonesia, which keep us running and support us to keep doing the good work that we do. Before ending, I'd like to ask Sachin, you know, we've got some messages on the chat. So Sachin, can you just help me go through that and, you know, address some of the people who've been talking to us on chat?
Yeah, Poonam, thank you. We have a few people who have basically thanked and made some comments on having been, you know, close to Bunbun and.
Yeah, I've also got somebody who's Bunbun's old friend from school.
That's true. I also have a message from Geetika. She's trying to connect.
Oh, she's trying to connect.
Yeah,
well,
see
the
if you
link
can
is the same for
see if you can reply to her, and I'll just so in summary, actually, you know, with hearing the comments and you know, the few words that were said by all the participants, the awardees especially, you know, I'd like to congratulate all of you. This is a journey. Yes, the recognition you've got today is based on the things that you have done so far. But, you know, there's a whole lifetime ahead of you. And I look forward to seeing more and more of the great work that all of you are going to be doing. And especially as it inspires other women to be, you know, more involved in some of the things that you're doing. It would really help to, you know, allow Indo-Indians to tell these stories. So please share all the things that you're doing with Indo-Indians. Please share anything that you see around you that you feel that Poonam can probably, you know, put it on the portal and allow the communication to go out to the community. Because that's actually one great way for all of us to, you know, stay connected. In these pandemic times, we kind of get isolated. And our dependence on information is only on social media and maybe newspapers and magazines. As you know, it's very depressing to even read newspapers and magazines in today's world, right? So it's refreshing to find interesting and good content that is, you know, spiritually motivating and, you know, allowing us to think beyond, you know, the problems that all of us are facing, work-wise, family-wise, social-wise, etc. And these challenges will continue to be there. So it's up to us to be able to put good, positive content into, you know, the digital space, so that we will be able to, you know, contribute and inspire people to, you know, use their time positively in these very challenging times. It's not easy to be able to continue to do the kind of work that people have been doing, and you have to really step up. You have to really, you know, think out of the box and innovate yourselves, learn some new skills, be able to connect to the work you're doing, and in many cases completely change what you've been doing. I would say this is an opportunity to rethink your life, rethink the work that you've been doing, etc. So I find that this common messaging from everybody, that they've all been people who have really adapted to the situation, and I see them all continuing to adapt as they go forward. And this adaptation story itself of how do you adapt to the pandemic and how do you come out of it in a positive way is a great story, and I think it's going to give us some very interesting things to think about at the next awards, Poonam. Yeah.
Thanks, Sachin. In fact, as you were speaking, Geetika has joined us, so maybe I can ask Geetika to say a few words. Geetika Senani is the awardee for culinary, etc. So Geetika, can you unmute yourself and say a few words?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me, Poonam?
So Geetika is at her restaurant. Hi Geetika, welcome.
First of all, I would like to say sorry for being late. It was there was some emergency, so I got stuck over there. But I was same time I was thinking this is very important to attend also. So namaskar, Your Excellency and organizers, especially the Indo-Indian whom organizing, Poonam is organizing. So I'm really thankful and very grateful to get this award. And this is a very good platform where, Poonam, you have started giving, encouraging and uplifting the women in Indonesia this award, so that then we keep going, motivating and have confidence what we are doing. And thank you for this award, and thank you for the nominating and organizers for giving this wonderful award to me. I'm very grateful and thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Geetika. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time and attending. Thank
always
you.
Pleasure. Always pleasure. Thank you.
May I ask Ambassador to say just a few words on now that he's had the chance to see some of our awardees, not all, and maybe then we can move on to the closing. I think we have celebrated and acknowledged our awardees today. So, Ambassador?
What remains to be said by me is congratulations to all the winners. As many of them have already said, it is just a stop to take further and more motivating activities in coming days, not only by oneself, but also encourage others to join them or have their own journey. I would say that this award should be seen as an incentive for other people to show up that they are also capable of serving the society and doing good things for everyone. I wish not only the contestant, but the entire Indian community through the Indo-Indians all the best for their all future activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you. Appreciate your kind words and your encouragement. Sachin, I'd like to invite you to close, please.
Well, thank you, Poonam. This is the start of a journey, though it may be the end of the program. And I look forward to us doing more. And in fact, taking on the advice of Ambassador Manoj Bharti he's given us some fantastic ideas to start with. Firstly, the TED Talks kind of an idea by Indo-Indians is a fantastic way to, have continual engagement. It's not only about the awardees who are there in today's event, but going forward, there were so many other people who have been doing interesting things. It's a great way to bring about, in a digital way, which is easy to do when you're in a, limited lockdown or the various processes that are taking place to control the pandemic. So I think that's a fantastic idea from Ambassador. We should definitely follow that up. I also particularly take note of the fact that Ambassador Bharti said that, we are able to now finally put together all the efforts of people and be able to tell these stories, because let's say 10 years ago, we wouldn't have had these stories to tell. Right. So the timing is right. We have come to a point in the engagement where the diasporas has, significant years behind them. And there are levels of achievement. I'm saying it's not that you have to be here for 25 years to have achieved something. You could have achieved something in a much shorter time. Right. But the fact that we are able to tell these stories, is an opportunity for Indo-Indians. I take up on that point from Ambassador Bharti, and I would encourage you, Poonam, to make that happen. Also, Madam Ambassador Anamika also made some good points about, these are ways to be able to spread the message and to inspire everybody else. And that's something that is now a challenge for Indo-Indians to continue. Because I strongly believe that that's the right way. We need to find a way to engage digitally and in other ways, not just in events, because we have a multitude of organizations in Indonesia who are bringing the Indian communities together. Some of them are ethnic based, some of them are community based, some of them are connected because of cultural activities. So many with different connect points. They're all important. They're all important, and business organizations are there as well. They all play a different role and a different dimension. And Indo-Indians has a chance to put it all together and, have like kind of an umbrella engagement around all of these, because you're digital. So when you're digital, the effort is different. It's a different kind of effort to bring everything together. And you can tell these stories because you can do a piece with India Club. You can do a piece with Tamil Sangam. You can do a piece with all of these. So there's an umbrella role for Indo-Indians to be able to tell other people's stories, and other cultural engagements can be amplified. So that digital engagement, I think, is an asset which Indo-Indians has. And I think we should really take it up, and ambassadors' suggestions really would reinforce the way Indo-Indians would continue to engage with the community. So I really thank everybody here today who participated and also giving us ideas, because I think, my role was only to help you, Poonam, in this particular project. You do everything on Indo-Indians on your own. But I'm very happy to have been associated with this whole process, and I thank you also for the opportunity to work together. And I look forward to being able to play this role of connecting the dots across various organizations, also with the embassy, etc. Because I feel that having been here 25 years, that is the one thing I can bring to the table: being able to connect the dots across so many different activities that take place. So thank you once again to everybody for being here today, not only for this event, but I see us going forward with the ideas that we have got today on a kind of a continuous engagement platform, which will allow us to reinforce and amplify all the things that we've talked about and the things that we're doing. And I think, to be honest, the Indian Embassy and the community has done fantastic work in the last 1 year. Yes. Despite all the challenges, despite the pandemic issues, and so many things have been done. And these stories are, I believe, are not being told well enough on conventional media. For various reasons, there are so many priorities media has. They may or may not see the merits of a story as it happens. But, Indo-Indians as a platform will be able to amplify them, bring these stories to light, and be able to put it on social media. I think that's the key thing here. If it's on social media, it's there forever. It's recorded forever. It's a historical recording of something that happened, in some point of time in the timeline. So it's important that these stories get put online and they get discoverable, which means if you Google them, you'll find it, or you search for certain keywords, you'll find it, and then they're permanently there. So that role of putting things on digital is a very important piece that Indo-Indians can do successfully. So thank you again, Poonam, and thank you everybody for this opportunity to participate. I'd put it back to Poonam for the final word, and we look forward to having more and more such occasions to be able to share ideas and thoughts, and actually get some interesting insights on what we should do next. Yeah. Because that's the real thing, right? I mean, we have done so many things, but what do we do next? We always look for advice and ideas, and I think today we've got at least 2 or 3 great ideas to follow up on.
Thank you. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for your help, support, and guidance through this entire process. It was invaluable, and I learned a lot from you. Thank you. And while ending, I'd like to just repeat what Shom said. It is all about giving back to everybody around us. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, all the participants, the awardees, and especially Sachin. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Poonam.